Do you know 28 years was the entire lifetime of an average person in the 1770s? Today, 28 is just when people start figuring life out. In just over 2 centuries, life expectancy has changed dramatically. So today, we're looking at the sample data from 1990 to 2023 to see how life expectancy has evolved.
Got me upside down, spinning around you. Wanna taste the clouds, dance with the moon. Take a trip around your body. Boy, I love the way you.
Let's start with the big picture. The year is 1990. The average human could expect to live about 64 years. Fast forward to 2023, 73.2 years. That's almost 10 extra years. So in just 23 years, the world added almost 10 extra candles to the average birthday cake. Now take a look at this map chart start from 1990. You notice a lot of pale green and light blues that mean the lower life expectancy around 50 to 60 years. Now as we move the slider forward through time, the map slowly turns darker and deeper blue, which means more people are living longer. But if you look closely, some areas like parts of Africa are still in lighter shades. That tells us not everyone sharing this progress equally. Now let's zoom in a little. Here the same story told by region. Each bar shows the average life expectancy by continent, and we can see every continent improve to time. That's the good news. That's where we continue the next part. Let's take a closer look who living the longest. In 2023, the top 5 are these nations. Do you spot the similarities? They are some of the world's wealthiest and most developed nations, all about 84 years. But at the other end of the list is a different story. These nations, some of the poorest and least developed countries, have life expectancy around 54 to 57 years. That's a 30-year gap. So it seems that rich countries live longer. Let's test that theory out. Now let's look at the chart comparing life expectancy with GDP per capita across every continent. First, Africa. Africa began from a very low baseline, but as the years move forward, we can see that most African countries gradually shift upward and to the right. In simpler terms, as income increases, people tend to live longer. Now there is one thing really stand out, that is the Central African Republic. In several years, the country is positioned significantly lower than the rest, probably because this country had to face long-lasting political instability, poverty, and limited access to healthcare. In Asia, the story is showing the similar trend, climbs up and to the right. Japan, Singapore, and Hong Kong stay at the top, but the real headline is China, Vietnam, and India, which increased significantly both GDP and life expectancy in just 3 decades. Europe began the period already rich and healthy and keep edging upward, a cluster of dots near the very top of the chart. More countries already start rich and healthy in 1990, and they just kept getting better. Moving to North America, Canada and US both rank high in GDP and life expectancy. But notice something, the life flattens. The US keep getting richer, yet the life expectancy barely move. Next, Oceania. Australia and New Zealand sit firmly at the top, wealthy, stable, and long-lived. Finally, South America tells a story of steady improvement. From 1990 to 2023, every country edges higher. Chile and Argentina lead the way, while Brazil, Peru, and Colombia follow close behind. The direction is the same, upward. The richer a country becomes, the longer its people tend to live. But the next question will be, do men and women benefit equally? We can see clearly in this line chart across the world, women outlive men by about 5 to 7 years, and that hasn't changed since 1990. Probably because women are built differently, or maybe because fewer women start with the sentences with "hold my beer."
Huh?
But that also raises a deeper question, what are people dying from now? Now let's take a look at the causes of death from 1990 to 2021. Cardiovascular diseases have been the leading cause of death worldwide, followed by cancers. But when we reach 2020, COVID-19 suddenly appears and races extremely fast, making it the third leading cause of death, just behind cancer. It shows how quickly a global crisis can shift mortality patterns. And because people are living longer overall, these chronic conditions matter even more. Which brings us to the question, are we living longer in a good health or just longer? Let's break this chart down. The blue area represents the number of years people live in good health. This is called healthy life expectancy. The red area above it represents number of years people live with illness or disability. Through the time, both areas increase. That means we are living longer overall, and we're also living more healthy years than before. However, notice the size of the red section. That gap stays almost the same over time. In other words, even though we added more years to life, we did not reduce the portion of life spent managing health problems. So, to bring everything together, we've seen that life expectancy had increased globally over the past few decades. People are living longer than ever before, but we also learned that this progress is not shared equally. While locations still determine how long people live, we are extending life but not necessarily extending health. So what's next? Our challenge now is not only to have people live longer, but to have them live longer in good health, with dignity, and with opportunity. Thank you.